She said she was pressing record, but it's not.
No,
Good. So we are having a big strategy meeting this week with KA, just looking at ways that we can buy things up and get and basically start selling more. They continually point to August last year and say, you know, the way these large international companies do, that was tracking like that, should keep going like that. It hasn't done that. Why not? I think there's some very valid reasons for that on one level. But we just, having said that, we need to look at ways that we can fire things up. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts as to how if you've got any thoughts, looking for things out of the box, not just same old, but actually trying something a little bit different. See if we can get things, get things fired up there and selling more. I mean, it's certainly August was quite a big jump over the previous few months. So part of it is KA have come to the party with more promotional month to month and so on promotional components, which I think just gives a good reason to go back to all those people that have otherwise have seen it over the last 15 months or so. And as we know, with particularly with this product, price point wise and so on, it's timing can be everything. So it may not be right then, but they saw it at some point, and if it happens to be the right timing and happens to be the right offer that suits them, then, and certainly we saw some of that in August. And we continue to see a little bit of it's tracking in September above where it had been in May, June, July. So that's so far. So that's good. I mean, it would tend to imply that the $200 is a draw card. We know, like all these promos, some will be a draw card for, Zip 24 months was a draw for some, but not others. The food processor attachment is a draw for some, not for others. If you're not interested in buying any other KA gear, then the $200 is not really, you don't value it. But for anyone that is looking at that, then that's there's a bunch of things. Certainly if you've got a stand mixer, you can pretty much get a whole bunch of attachments, or you get one, but there's a whole series of them that are around that price point. So and as we know, some of those are really cool. Toasters, kettles, things like that. So we're all around that $200 price point. And obviously if you want to get a stand mixer, then it comes down to about $450 with the discount that they've given us anyway to offer to customers, and then another $200, getting a $900 stand mixer for about half price, which is, if you're in the market for one of those, is actually pretty cool. But yeah, just thoughts on, broadly as ever, there's, getting consultants we've got a bit more engaged, and really getting more people, both ones that have not opted in within TCT, and obviously then finding other ones that out and about there. The whole join and get it for free, which seemed to be what the tagline they'd used for years, that never really resonated particularly well with us. We just haven't found that's had a particularly good traction, which is don't know why that is, but we haven't. So yeah, just any thoughts? And as per my post on Friday, replying to Jill, I mean, it's there's, I know that people are sort of holding off, waiting for the IT and stock and other things within TCT land. That none of those things are relevant for KA. So there's plenty of stock. They normally ships within 24 hours or thereabouts. So on and so forth.
Well, maybe we just need to get that message out a little bit more and just get people. I mean, I'm not a good ideas person, but just to get consultants focusing more on that.
Yep. No, maybe if you think I can tweak a little bit and then repost into Grapevine. It was that Jill's thing was on leadership page firstly, and secondly I replied to her question, so it doesn't necessarily, you may not necessarily see it, so I can obviously it was a reply to a question, so I'll tweak a little bit, but broadly pop that back up on the Grapevine. You can do that after this, definitely. Because as per Pauline's post, it's just hadn't really. It seems that people have forgotten that it is a profitable product to sell. Very profitable. Obviously, better if you can sell a couple at a given demo, but it's a profitable product to sell.
Well, I guess at the moment, with weather warming up and stuff, there's more events and things that start to take place. Maybe encouraging people to get out there and do some more, things like that as well. But, I mean, just more follow-up. I know myself, when I read that, I thought, there's people that I need to go back to, really. That didn't really even show much interest, just the customer care, I guess.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we know, like always, but particularly this item, it's follow-up is necessary.
But it's not even so much, because a lot of people show no interest on the night, I mean, I think just the customer care and asking the question, are you interested in having a closer look at it, just to gauge,
Yep.
I don't know. Any thoughts, Al? Al, how have you got your... Because Al said you've done a few KAs, haven't you?
I just would... I just sent a message. The bowls, is there any way that the bowls could be moved really quickly? Because I think that's a really good tool. But if they're taking 4 weeks, kind of loses its punch. So
for the referral.
Yeah. Just wondering if there's any way we could make that faster, David?
Well, I can raise it. I didn't think it was taking that long. It's up to, I mean, they do double check every one. So it does, so I thought they were doing it every couple of days that they were having,
Okay. Well, the ones, and maybe that's the case. They just seem to, I don't know whether I'm just unlucky at the moment. I've just, I know the last one took 6 weeks and they came back and said, it just got missed accidentally. And some of the girls in the team have been saying, on average 4 weeks. I guess, and we're kind of used to in the TCT world for it coming out faster. It's such a powerful product, that second bowl.
Sure.
If it could come faster. But everyone talks. There's no doubt about it. The host will talk. We need them really on side to continue the momentum.
Okay, I was thinking it was much faster than that. So,
okay. Even if it's the week, like from us doing the Google form to it being in at least transit. I mean, I know my girls, none of them have even got an email saying it was in transit. So, I'm not sure. If Jane was on, she would also tell me what hers have been doing. But yeah, it has been a bit more work trying to find where the bowls are.
Look, I mean, obviously it's done manually, so that is, I don't know what the process is. Obviously it's I'm assuming if there's no notification, then I'm assuming it's because it's done manually.
Sure. I just think with the instant world we're in, let's try and get it in their hands as fast as possible. That's all.
Yep.
I was just thinking, like when we started with KA, a lot of us, we were doing things at home to launch it. Have you frozen?
No. Oh, me?
Nope, don't think so.
Is that?
No. Oh, maybe it's Fip's end.
Yeah, maybe she's frozen.
She's frozen.
She's got her Candy Crush. She's got 5 in a row and she's celebrating. She has frozen.
That's her. Oh, that's the events, because I think that's what she was getting at, wasn't it? That we all did the events to.
And that's what I was thinking of, is going back and doing your own in-home things again and inviting different groups back in and then branching off again from there.
I did that on Wednesday and that was, probably will be really productive in the end.
So we know that that's really powerful, that they work. besides reminding people that they are out, that it does work, how do we get more consultants actually doing them?
That's tricky.
Do we need an incentive to get them back out doing it again? I'm just asking the question. I know when I first came on board, David, you tried like a KA week, didn't you? It was around that time Jane did that big go live, and you encouraged everyone to be doing something that week.
Yeah, I don't mind a week. I think that's always a good, short, concise.
Short and sharp.
And if you highlight what you've just said, David, about how it's, it is what it is. It's what we've got access to. It's out in 72 hours, and then maybe people will just have that, epiphany, like, and think, well, let's work with that.
Well, what if everybody that had one at home went into a draw for a second bowl? I'm sure a lot of consultants would do that.
Yeah. Or just a small storage bowl would be super.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got the big fat ones?
Yeah. Matt said he was going to organise it, David. Do you reckon you could follow up on those? The slim line. He said he was going to order 70.
I'm surprised he said that, because that's I will try and follow up, but obviously by definition it's not even a spare part. Like, it's not even the spare bowl's at least a spare part. That's the way they think of it. Whereas the accessory bowl is not even it's not even something it wouldn't even be a SKU number in their system that he can order, I would have thought. So I'd be surprised. I mean, it's their system, but I'd be amazed. But I will.
Maybe a consultant that gets a spare bowl, maybe them.
Draw.
I like the week. I think it's good. Yeah, I'm not either. I'm just putting it all in the steamer baskets.
Yeah, same here.
I think the drought was really, really powerful to get the image out there. So I'm sort of thinking as a bit of a, thanks for putting your $20 in. Why don't you, I'm inviting you to my one at home, maybe as a thank you. I don't know, put on a bottle of bubbles or something.
Those people, because it did actually, it clearly did extend beyond, just because of the cause. It was pushed out to a much broader group. Just on that, I don't know if I think we mentioned, but it's now set up that I'll get the exact code. It's 250 mates, I think, is the code. I'll confirm exactly what it is. So that's.
And I think that's it's a fine line one. Maybe it's something that when they come, if you're doing it as a thank you for participating, and then when they're actually in front of you, you can say, here's a voucher. I think.
Sure.
To be honest, I don't feel comfortable putting it out there first. I would much rather than want to buy it for the sake of it, and then they get that as an option. I just don't want to look like we've collected all this data and now we're trying to flog them a product. I don't know.
No, I understand. I understand it's a fine line.
Yeah, but I think as a thank you, I think I'd be happy to do a thanks for supporting it. Come over, if you can't make it, we'll do a live stream or something. Because even I was surprised. I got 2,000 views on a dorky video that I did. I should have brushed my hair, but anyway, the kids won't let me leave that down.
Yep.
And a week. I think that's a good thing.
Sure. Cool. And how much notice? I mean, can we launch it today or tomorrow for next week?
We've got sales meeting week. Maybe you do it in sales meeting week. I don't know. I'm hopping on a plane, so I'm not sure, girls. What do you guys want to do?
Can you hear me now?
Yep. You froze.
Yeah, I got kicked off and came back on. Well, I've got Henty field days next week, so that's just a write-off for me. But what I was trying to say before was, just, and Els touched on it, for us to do more in-home ones, when we launched it, and just to go back and do that, and the power of one-on-ones, just to make it look really easy and not time-consuming, and just.
Sure. So any suggestions to how we get, so whilst you're off, we're having this discussion, but interested in your thoughts on how we encourage more consultants to do that?
No. I haven't got any. Like I said, I'm hopeless with ideas. I'll think about it.
So you missed it. The idea, one idea is to do a KA week, like a KA focused week. So it's
oh, right. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I mean, when
Short
you
and
do
sharp.
that just then flows on and continues on. So yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so I'm having a thought here. So, guys, I just think while I talk, what can we go back to some of our, I'm just trying to think if we can re-engage some of our customers who we've sold the KA to have us back in their homes again, and have different people there.
well, part of that was the idea of that was the bowl, was you use the bowl to, for those that already have one.
Yeah, I
already
know.
have a KA, so they get the second bowl for free when they have friends around, and obviously a purchase happens.
Okay, I didn't see it that way. I saw it that they referred the friend on to someone else, like they got someone else to buy it. I didn't realise it was another demonstration in their home.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
host.
hadn't sort of thought about it that way.
So that's why I thought sometimes, when someone thinks something, then we can go off onto another plane and off onto another plane, that we might be able to come back with something along those lines as well.
Yep.
Well, sorry, I'm just looking because next week's business meeting week, but at the same time, if there's not much, going on, I mean, the week after is school holidays in Melbourne. Is it the same in New South?
End of September, yeah.
Last week,
Yep.
September.
And then obviously we've got footy finals and things.
But you could use that to the advantage. Like I just made a batch of sausage rolls, all on the KA. So you could use it as Spring Festival, how to save time.
Yep.
Your
Kids
dips,
cooking,
your garlic bread. Yep.
holiday cooking.
Yeah, cooking a cook-off. Cooking bonanza.
I just think we need to keep it simple. They could go off on that tangent, really. Just do
Well, you can
a week.
Yeah,
Theme it, exactly. Let's do a week, this date to this date. I mean, you could even do team competitions if you wanted to,
If we had a couple of new recipes, it would be a good excuse from a customer service point of view to have people back in our home, but they bring a friend.
Yes.
That idea of a referral.
Well,
So a couple of new recipes would be good.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a brand new recipe, but it's not one that a lot of people have done. So what about running with the footy finals and make sausage rolls, homemade sausage rolls?
It's not big enough to sell a KA though. Like you wouldn't buy a KA to make sausage rolls though. Like the mincing is fabulous. I don't know another.
Well, I mean, you're out there, so you know. But to me, it's just one. I mean, you don't buy it to make sausage rolls, but it's one of the things that you can make. I mean, people seem to buy it for butter, for God's sake. It's never quite. It always amazes me what does hit people over the edge. But anyway, look, that's fine. We can try to do something different. But it's. I was just tying it into the footy final thing, but.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you could have that in there as a component, but I think if we could only make that chicken dish look really sexy, it tastes amazing, but it just doesn't look right.
It's delicious.
Oh my God, it is amazing. It's a family favourite. It just doesn't look, But oh my God, it sells the KA, I reckon, all the time.
Well,
and the smell stays in the house for days. It's amazing.
It's reasonably fast as well, being chicken. So it's
How many Indian spices do we have in the warehouse at the moment?
I'm not sure. I need to check. But yes, you think about doing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jose, help me out here.
What?
I don't know.
I mean, we can obviously give a spice pack away with every KA. I don't know. Once again, I don't know.
We could celebrate that Elle's going to India and we have an India week.
Yeah, but I'm not going to India because it's flooded and underwater and they're all dying. Yes. So I'm not going to India.
Where are you going instead?
I'm starting at Singapore tomorrow and I don't know. I might end up at Cambodia. I really don't know. We'll see.
My God.
Stay tuned. Anyway, it's bigger than people.
Well, what are the recipes that you did on at your thing at home last week, Elle?
I did, David, I did butter. I did butter. The girls had all bought them, but I actually brought them back because they were doing the whole having a chat that they weren't using it enough.
Yeah.
So I actually made lemon curd, which I make all the time. And I did the chicken, I did a rice dish, and I did the dumplings. I did 7 things, and they but it can be bliss balls, like totally preservative free bliss balls. Oh my god, amazing, time factor 0.
I haven't made those.
I also did coleslaw.
Where did that recipe come from?
Oh, I don't know. You open the pantry and you see what stuff you've got in it and you chuck it in. No, there is a base one that's on the page, but
I've got one for carrot cake bliss balls, and they're delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take
bliss
about
balls,
7 seconds.
Yeah, bliss balls in Melbourne. Your listing is $8 a ball.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. So, and it's a massive fad to. I don't know about you, Jose, but we, pre-KA, we would buy a bliss ball with, a boost juice or something. It's just amazing. They are quite big, but massive industry. So anyone that's into that, or health bars, muesli bars, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, the buttered chicken's nice too. I inverted that. I've got it somewhere.
Yep.
I'll put it up on the site. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Nothing really different, I don't think. I think they're all the same ones, but we just need to, I guess, if our customers haven't seen them all, we just do something like even the peanut butter with the beef.
The satay.
The beef and black beans, another good one.
Yeah, that's nice. Yep.
I haven't done that one either. Jeez.
Yeah,
Why don't you run a customer competition on the KA group, and that will be our go-to one at the classes.
You're full of
they get the bragging rights.
Good idea.
What's that?
I said you're full of ideas today. Good idea. I like it.
Yeah. So imagine if, I don't know, Mrs. Smith's.
Even if we did it in amongst the consultants, that might re-engage them.
That's a good idea too. Well, who was that person that did all of those KA recipes on the weekend? That was phenomenal effort.
Yeah.
Meredith.
Sweet.
No. But that's only half an hour cooking though. Like if you look at what she cooked, there's not a lot of time spent on those things. Even just doing zucchini slice and all that sort of everyday frittata and, potato gratin and all that stuff.
That's very springy. That's very springy.
Like that's just so easy in there.
Well, you need the food processor.
Tabbouleh. Yeah, which is what we want to sell with the 200 voucher that we want them to get.
Sure.
I like that idea of the competition, especially re-engaging some of the sales force as well, coming up with, we're adding to our recipe mix.
Maybe, maybe we now this week, they bring it next week to the meeting or something, and we'll do once upon a time, although you can't really do them at most meetings, but, once upon a time we'd do like cook-offs, wouldn't we? The pizza, maybe. I don't know, maybe everybody bring a KA recipe and we have a taste test and vote or something on it. I don't know.
Well, here one time in training week, I did a mystery box challenge, and it was when we had some new spices, and they loved it. And, I don't know whether we could do something, again, similar lines with the KA and have a mystery box challenge.
Now, that'd be fun.
Explain that to me.
Well, you've watched MasterChef, haven't you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you watch MasterChef? No, obviously not.
If you don't watch MasterChef, it won't make any sense.
Yeah. If you watch MasterChef, you know exactly what it is. If you don't, you don't. So
okay, I'll go and watch MasterChef.
They basically get a box of ingredients and have to come up with a recipe.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
and
it's fun.
My team absolutely loved it. They really did.
Mm.
They had an open pantry, so you know, they had some things that they had to use in it, and then I had my pantry open. But it was good fun.
I like it.
Mm. Even stock, even showing people how to make stock is really a big wow.
See, I haven't done that.
Oh,
someone made vegetable stock the other day, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just put the onion peels and everything back in.
That's big.
Super easy.
That's big in the mixed world.
I was just going to say, is that something a lot of people do in KitchenAid though, or is it more a pressure cooker?
Yeah.
Well, it's huge in Thermix world. They do a.
Oh, that was pressure cooker.
They do a
stock.
They do a vegetable stock where they basically just puree everything, puree it in, and then they dry it out in the oven, so it becomes like a.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Thermix does to for the out of the box. You know, when somebody first gets it, the consultant goes and shows them how to do that, and it's the base of a lot of their recipes. It's very salty. It's insanely salty. So, in theory, it adds flavour, but I think it's much anything. It adds lots of salt, from what I understand. Yep, cool.
Got some ideas. Well done.
I think if you're going to do a competition, though, you kind of want to do it straight away. So if the people that are doing a KA week, they could take a new recipe with them. So, yeah, and they've got time to play with it. And
so we could launch the competition this week and then run with the KA week next week.
Yeah. Yeah,
we can launch the competition.
You could do it today. Brag about their bragging rights and how amazing they're going to be. I don't know. Stroke the ego. I don't know. I'm not good at that, but you know.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, we would need to launch KO week this week, as you know, but people feel like they need not 6 months' notice. So, so we need. If we want to do it next week, obviously need to launch it the next day or so.
So how are we going to reward them for doing it? I mean, I know.
Well, I know it's a novel concept, but I am going to lead with that. Make $200. So yeah, the reward. Yeah, the reward should be if you do a demo and you sell 2 or 3, then that's a very profitable night for you.
And you don't have to leave home. Don't leave home.
Yeah.
Just create the question: who wants to earn $200 next week?
Yep.
What would that look like in your family?
Sure.
Plus, there's the PV as well, the follow-on from that as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
got some ideas to come up with. Thank you.
So then those that kind of haven't opted in or don't have they're TC consultants but don't have a machine. Just feedback on how successful or not they are in selling it. Obviously, they're not going to be wildly successful, but when we do run, I mean, some of the promos we run that have been run over the last 4 to 5 weeks. Have you seen any sign of people that haven't opted in selling it anyway, just based on promos and talking about it, or no? Not at all.
No, not for me, Jose.
Well, they need to last 4 or 5 weeks, but just thinking, like, if you're going to run this week, then that could be a way to get, invite your downline that don't have one, and if they want to bring somebody and pass the profit on to them, like, give them an incentive to invite people. It could be a great way for them to gauge whether they want to get involved or not.
Yep, cool.
Yep, good idea.
Because not everybody, I guess, has been involved, but at the same time, it might be that they don't really know enough about it. And if they come along to a few demos themselves, that could improve.
Yep, sure. Oh, look, obviously, it would appear that, some people, even that are selling it, kind of forgot how profitable it is. So if people who are selling it forgot, then obviously people that haven't opted in yet, it's probably not on their radar.
Yeah.
Should we also have that during that week? There's a little bit of recognition for the person that sells the most. And it doesn't have to be the top seller that always sells it. It could be just by someone having that in-home dem and they do the right things and sell 4 or 5 during the week or more.
Yeah, as much reco as possible. Yeah,
definitely.
Give them a certificate.
Laminated.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. And recipes, so we're not necessarily
guided
to, run with anything in particular. It's just whatever people want to do themselves.
Look, I'm personally a believer that most people, if you leave it up to them, you make it easy for them as possible. So if you leave it up to them, then they don't know what to do, or they revert back to what they're otherwise doing. So I think we've had some, the protein balls, the chicken sag, which is delicious and just oozes healthiness.
So we could give a couple of recommendations, 1 or 2 threes, like a group of 2 or 3s, and then they can take from that.
Yeah.
Well, I've
never
myself, so yeah.
What was that, Viv?
I said I've never made the chicken sag myself. See, so there we go.
And I guess that's the thing. It depends what you've been showing at your demos. You probably want to be doing something different if you're going to invite the same people back.
Well, like next week's, like I said, it's a write-off for me. I'll just do my KA week, a different week. That's all.
There's a few dips that I think Melissa Campbell's been putting up that, rather than the guacamole, there's that nice spinach and feta dip that's up. There's a few different ones if they want to go down that path. Oh, no, I saw Melissa. I mean, I'm pretty sure Melissa Campbell started this. I think it's spinach, sun-dried tomatoes and feta, which, well, we did at the Telstra and it was just a third. But that's actually known, I don't know the brand because I don't buy it, but there's a dip that tastes exactly the same on the market.
Black Swan or something?
In that KA group. Yeah, I don't know. It's a gourmet one, I think.
You're not talking about the roast capsicum one, no.
No, it was sun-dried tomatoes. But I just think if you want to do a dip also that's a bit different.
Yeah.
Melissa Campbell's put quite a few dips in the KA group.
Has she?
Sort of, just progressively, not just in the last weekend, but just to show something different.
Potato one with cumin, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Really nice. The variation on the sun-dried tomato and capsicum one, because Andrew does that. So just put in a roasted sweet potato.
Yep. Yum.
It is. It's good.
Cool. And the French onion one's nice too, actually. I did that.
Oh, that French onion one of Jane's is really nice. I did that for back in July. It was nice.
So we're sort of saying a dip, a main, and like a little dessert, like the bliss balls or something. Is that what you're picking up, David?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that French onion one.
The dip and the dessert, if it's something like the bliss balls, doesn't it's all in the mini bowl, so it makes it easy. You don't have to wash it.
Not as messy.
You just use whatever the main is, the chicken or the pork or the whatever in the main bowl.
Yeah, so we could market it about getting healthy for spring, like what we touched base on before, like healthy habits for spring or something.
The fit bod. Yep.
Okay. Let TCT get your body ready for spring.
Yep. Well, if you use all those 3 ingredients, there's actually no preservatives, so you'll feel amazing.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Other than just your thoughts on if sort of trying to come up with ways that we can bit more proactive rather than just waiting, at a class hoping that you come across people, looking at ways to proactively connect with different groups that we kind of broadly know can sometimes be be good consultants. Like they for different reasons, they tend to be. So hairdressers would be one that they tend to be, they're just chatty and they, so hairdressers, teachers, including childcare,
nurses.
sometimes I was going to say sometimes nurses. So they
If
tend
they
to
work
be
shift work, but it's a healthy option too, because we've got, they come home and they're working late and long hours. At least they've got some really good products to cook quick meals in.
Yeah, I was looking as consultants, not as
Yeah, same. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, just any thoughts on how we might construct a campaign to actually actively approach some of these categories?
A marketing campaign. Do you like talking to people?
Something like that.
A Facebook ad, just do and
Sure. Well, that's obviously one.
Change the filters so that you're just talking to people that like people. Click the boxes. Referral program. Who do you know that's a nurse? Who do you know that's a shift worker?
I mean, the teachers are all going on holiday soon too, so it's...
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gone into the common rooms after school finishes and done a quick dip or something in there?
Yeah.
I haven't. No.
Yeah.
Something
Ages ago.
Leading up to Christmas and that. The company I used to work for had a big week leading up to Christmas, and that's where I would knock over in the mid-afternoon classes, so I could go and set up just before school broke up, and I set up in the common room, and I'd have a chocolate dip ready to go. But that's something you can look at doing too, and then talk to them about having money for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So approaching schools.
Or why not be cheeky and at the classes just actually ask?
Is a teacher?
Well, I think there's not enough classes going on at the moment.
No, well, yeah.
Finding more, isn't it? But that's what you're all getting at, isn't it, Trace? Using those sort of, or David, those sort of avenues to build on that.
Yes.
Get more classes, get more consultants.
Is there hospitals that we can be affiliated with for canteens, or, like we did the Telstra days, or anything like that we could do? The Elliot Health Group or something.
What about gyms again? That idea of get fit for spring. Do something in a gym.
Sure. I mean, I was looking more at who you recruit rather than selling, but yeah, that's certainly the gyms. You might find some sellers as well, but it's more probably a market that if they're spending $8 on bliss balls, then they may well want to yeah.
What about advertising in trade mags?
What's a trade mag?
Well, like the hairdressing trade obviously have, I'm guessing, associations and, I'm just sort of wondering, I
wonder if you can put ads for them just to do something else along with hairdressing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box, I don't know. You need the people to get out there to approach them, and if we haven't got them, then how else do you do it?
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to, as I say, I'm brainstorming, but yes, to your point, Jason, trying to find ways that we're not just relying on people at classes coming up and talking to you, or you're having we can actually, being a bit more proactive, and we know certain groups, on average, tend to be more suited, tend to be quite good. So just trying to find ways that we can proactively, and it's not just for it's TCT as well. Just trying to find ways to be a bit more proactive in targeting them. And yes, we can try doing some Facebook ads. Not sure how easy it is to we can.
Having a flush there, Trace.
I know we can hear you, Tracy. What?
Sorry. All I could hear was...
We could go to those type of women as well.
Yes. Where else? I guess I don't know. Notice boards, I don't know.
Well, all the KA, if any, the reports that anybody's done and those who've been to KA classes and promote it there, because KA have got all the, I believe they send out different emails whether somebody's bought one or they've seen it.
Well, that's us. We do that. It would be great if you could encourage your teams to loop back and fill those in. Apart from Angela, and I think you do it a bit, Elle. No one fills these things in, so it's very difficult for us to proactively do the marketing on consultants' behalf if they can't spend the 5 minutes doing that. So it's
remind them again.
I've got to take the bloody things with me.
I had them. I jolly well forgot to hand them out on Friday night. I couldn't believe it. Cross with myself.
There's so much going on.
Any idea, or you would have an idea, just your thoughts on about approximately how many of people who end up buying a KA already own a Thermomix?
Heaps.
Oh, see, I haven't had one yet.
No, I don't think I have, but I've certainly had a number of people who are in the market for a Thermomix and then saw this and decided this was definitely what they wanted.
So that singly has been consistently the thing that I'm wanting to. We've been trying to do is raise awareness because the reality is the vast majority, like 99% of people who buy a Thermomix, don't even know there's alternatives out there. So you, Josie, you don't have many. I spoke to Leanne. She said about 20 or so %. Elle, you said would be even more than that, would it be? Or?
Heaps. Yeah, I've sold heaps of Thermies on the Thermi website, the Facebook, just so they could buy KAs.
Really? No.
I mean, secondhand. Most of the time, they know exactly what they're looking for. Of course, you get those that don't, but a lot of my customers would primarily have had a Thermi at some point.
Yeah, so appreciate the pain points that this one takes away.
Yep.
Yeah. And the majority of people of mine that have bought it have maybe considered one or, know of it, but it's not something they've actively, in majority cases, gone and bought and then switched, or I haven't had that, I think.
So sorry, Elle, you've done the second-hand sale for them, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because a lot of them can't have their name out there that they're getting rid of their Thermi. Yeah, because they've bought it. Yeah, heaps and heaps. In fact, Frances wanted to know, she sent me a personal message, what are you doing with all of these Thermis? And I just said to her, I'm selling them on behalf of customers because they're friends with Thermi consultants or are still Thermi consultants that they don't want to tell them that they're selling them.
Right.
So I don't charge them because it takes me 2 seconds, take a photo, pump it up. I've done heaps, probably 10, maybe 12.
What did they get for it?
I don't know, whatever they ask for. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't really get involved with it. I just make sure that they get ours.
At the moment, do you want to do that for me?
What was it?
I said, I've got furniture I want to sell. Do you want to do that for me? I hate doing all that.
And I think too that people. Well, the thing is, I don't care. I want the sale anyway. And I think the other thing is that people that I've seen, a lot of them have them, but they're just not ready yet to, get it. So, yeah, I haven't had. And look, definitely KitchenAid, the brand sells it too, without a doubt. But yeah, I mean.
Oh, definitely. That's probably been, I reckon, the draw card with
the biggest thing.
Yeah, people. Yeah. It's the KitchenAid brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Especially they're coming up to their 100 years soon, so that's going to be some amazing marketing.
Are they doing much for it? I guess they would have a whole
I think it's a big deal. I think it's a very big deal for them. I don't know exactly, but I do know that they made noises, so it's certainly a big focus for them. I don't know if you saw, they've got this pastel blue commemorative stand mixer that they're bringing out specifically for it.
I'll send you a photo.
It looks really cool. So I'm sort of talking to them to see if try and get us to be able to access that to offer customers. I mean, it's a stand mixer, but it's if you're into your KA, this is a commemorative one that actually looks lovely. Looks really nice.
Hold on. Oh gosh. And it's got a beautiful. Hasn't it got a glass bowl? It's got a ceramic white bowl that's got the dimpled effect. I think I sent it to Matt on an email, so I won't have it here. Oh, here it is.
Is there any way that on Google search, when people do type in Thermi, that we pop up?
Can you see that? Can you see the dimple?
Nice.
It's interesting. They're only making 100 of them, I think.
No, they're doing 100 of the ones that are. I don't know. They're doing something special with 100 of them to make them real collectors and collectors' pieces, and then they're broadly available for everyone else.
Oh yeah, they're marking them.
I looked at that a while ago, Elle, and for some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, it kept coming up with breach of trademark. Like I wasn't allowing me to buy a Google AdWords with unless you own the mixed trademark. So, but I've spoken to Matt about that, and he absolutely is wanting to look at trying to do something along those lines.
Yeah. Even if you got that blogger that is KA, the KA processing lady that does Instagram every 5 seconds about everything she makes, even if you could pay her to blog for us, and that increased Google, because she's really good.
Okay, I'm not sure.
She's in our group. She's very quiet in our group, but she.
What's her name? Do you know her name?
No, but I'll find it.
Okay.
It's on Instagram.
Sorry, I think I do know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe the blogger that used the word often enough, it would increase Google search. I don't know.
That's not the woman that joined as a consultant for a bit.
No,
did nothing.
She didn't. No. I don't know.
She had.
I don't think so.
No, she didn't. She had this prior to us being involved. She had a blog with 50 or something recipes on there, and I think KA has something to do with it. I'm not sure. I think they might give her a small retainer or something like that.
Anyway, the more noise that bloggers make about KA and what we do, the higher the profile and the easier it is for Google search to pick us up. Sure.
Having said that, competing against the Thermix ecosystem, you're going to struggle to get up against that, other than basically paying and buying Google AdWords. Yeah, it's just a massive industry. Yep. Okay. So just quickly, that the Facebook page, the secondhand or the trade-in for what is the name of the page?
It's a Facebook buy swap and sell Thermomix. But I wouldn't put yourself in it though, because they'll know who you are. But if Karen's got an account, she might want to add herself to it.
Sure.
I'll send you a screenshot of it.
I probably won't join. I probably won't follow the page, but I might just go and have a look at it. Just
you can't. Yeah, it's invite only.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, in that case.
I'll screenshot it.
Sure. Okay. Good. Well, anyway, any other thoughts? Just shout out. Sort of need to get things fired up. But yeah, I think it was just interesting, that post, that the number of even likes of Pauline that had kind of almost seemed to have forgotten how profitable KA is. So as we know, but keep forgetting, we need to always keep looping back and saying the same thing multiple times because people forget sometimes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Good.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thanks for that, everyone. There's lots of good notes there.
Thank you, guys.
And
Thank you.
Thursday is the webinar for meeting. Is that right? Still 11:30.
Yes.
Okay.
What do we all think about wearing our old? Oh, you'll be away, so it won't be a problem. But wearing our old bridal bouquets or bridal headpieces.
Where did that come from?
I've got
Obviously
my
something.
I'm going to leave you be. See you guys. Have a good day. Take care.
Have a great
See ya.
trip. Have a
Tea
great trip.
thing.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. See ya.
Yeah, we're doing bridal showers.
See you,
guys.
have fun. Oh, that's right. I've forgotten about that.
I just thought we could have some fun. You know how Em used to make you wear shower caps or something? She told me she used to make you guys dress up and do stupid things. So I thought we might just get a bit bridally and get in the mood while we do the bit of training, and then we can take it out to the classes. The reason why we're doing this too, it just is coming into spring. It's traditional for bridal showers. It's another theme that the girls can take and the guys can go out with. You know, you think about everyone that is connected with bridal showers. You've got your dressmakers, you've got your cake designers, your beauticians, your hairdressers, your florists, all these different people. So again, it'll give them a chance to get out there. I think I showed you guys the other day. We've made up some gorgeous invitations. So these will be available. And, you know, you obviously personalise it. And I've got a folder made up. Oh, crap. With where we can pop the bride's recipes. And yeah, so I thought we'll have some fun. It gives them something to be distracted and get out there and want to reconnect with people, because you know, how many people are getting married? Lots. I was telling David in Tupperware we were taught to look at the engagement notices in the newspapers and send out, I know I've never done it, that's quite aggressive, but go and approach people and send them an engagement card and then invite them to have a bridal shower. But I tell you, there's some different tricky ways to contact and connect with people.
But if you've got a really good relationship with your hairdresser, ask them to promote it there.
Can you imagine having that in a beautiful little frame? Actually, I want to get one of those nice little silver frames or something. This is just an acrylic stand. But saying that, you can get acrylic stands from Officeworks where they have that little bit that sits like that, and you can have your business card sitting there. So you can have it that way with your business cards. And even having that fit when you go to Henty Field Day, not that you want to go back out there again, but just imagine you doing those big field days. You have a garter hanging off it or a little posy of flowers or something. It just highlights it. Okay, and I just think, you know, it doesn't matter if you've lived together for 5 years before you're getting married, or the, you know, the very religious ones that don't live together beforehand. This is perfect. They bring cash and put it in an envelope, in a beautiful box that we provide. So I know it's been talked about, but there's been nothing done beforehand. So we're going to run with that. How's that sound for this business meeting?
Yeah, it's good. Because there's probably expos coming up too that, you know.
Yeah, I used to not go to bridal showers to book bridal showers. I'd go to recruit the bride because, you know, usually they're booked 2 years out. So
there's the problem with the expos. Often the people, the category of people who go to expos when we did them years ago is that they tend to be they're not the ones that are getting engaged to get married 3 months' time. They tend to be your 20-year-olds who are looking 2 years out, religious and so on. So,
but
and
if you have that on your display at your party too with a little garter, it'll prompt that, oh, my sister's getting married. Oh, and then you can talk, well, does she need some extra money? So it's a recruiting tool as well as a dating tool as well.
True.
Well, I had a girl join my team because she was going to be a bridesmaid 7 times in 1 year, even though she worked full time. So, you know, you're not just talking to the bride, you're talking to the bridesmaids as well.
So do you think we should make it a little bit fun and wear our old headpieces? All right, well, I'll put it out there and see who comes to the party on it. But great brainstorming, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that. That was great.
Thank you.
Have an awesome week. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.